friends, welcome back to my channel. Sass here. I'm here to do the review of Killing Eve season finale. It was good, y'all. It was so good. I thought this season finale was better than last season. But let's get into it. So we have Villanelle. She was looking over the videos and the cameras, and then she gets up and she leaves. And side note, whomever is over the wardrobe department that dresses the character that plays Villanelle should get an award. How fantastic have her outfits been the last, all season. Her outfit's been so dope, so put together, and outfits spot on. She's been looking dope, just so dope. But anyway, so she is at breakfast with Aaron Peel, and Aaron Peel is telling her that some men is coming over to discuss business. So Aaron shows a picture of one of the men, and of course Villanelle knew who it was. It is a member of the 12. So she's talking to her. She was like, what an odd looking gentleman. So Eve is, of course, listening, looking in, and she hears this and she freaks out because Villanelle had just said the safe word, which means she's in danger. Okay. So before Eve could even get out the door, she hears a gunshot. Okay. So she's freaking out. And she hears some commotion outside in the hall. She hides underneath the bed. Someone busts the door in, okay? And then they leave. She leaves. And who's laying there in the hallway? Hugo. He done been shot. I tell you. Eve needs to keep her legs shut. Because every guy she be with either get beat up, bloody, damaged. She needs to look at Nico. And where is Nico? Still in the storage unit, beat to hell with Gemma the Indian dead. I mean, where's that? They didn't even say nothing about that. But anyway, we move on. So she's in a panic because here's Hugo is shot. V done used the safe word, so she's trying to get to V because she thinks that V is in danger. Hugo is like, don't leave me, Eve, don't leave. She was like, I'm gonna go and get you help. I'm gonna go and get you help. He was like, Eve, I'm bleeding. So Eve run downstairs, and it's like no one there. Like no one is there. And she goes behind the where the hostess works. Here comes another guy. He comes in. He's part of, the 12. So he's asking Eve all these questions. And so Eve is like talking to him. And he asked Eve out on a date. He was like, what you doing tonight, girl? What you doing? You want to get something to eat? Like, what's up? Eve was like, sure. Knowing good and well she ain't going to go out with that assassin. So he finally shuttles on, and Eve goes, and she, dresses like a housekeeper, and she goes into Aaron Peel's place where he's staying. She grabs a letter opener, and she busts in the door, and she's standing there with a letter opener. There is V and Aaron Peel just sitting there, eating breakfast, laughing. And so he's looking at her, he was like, Eve? He was like, I knew I smelled a rat, but I wasn't expecting this. And she was like, what? And he was like, well, what are you doing with my letter opener? You're going to kill me with that? And so Villanelle looks at Eve. She was like, oh, hey, Eve. Hey, girl. How you? You doing okay? All right. And so she was like, Eve was just like standing there with this letter opener. So he was like, oh, so you have a Russian accent. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm a little thrown back. But I get it. Okay. I get it. So Eve and Villanelle is like talking. She was like, Eve looked at Villanelle and said, you used to say for I thought you was in danger. And Villanelle said, I am in danger. So she looks at Aaron Peel and she was like, yeah, she was like, I seen your movies. So apparently, you know, he was making some type of movies about about killings, like a snuff film, I guess. So he tells her, he was like, come work with me. And she was like, come work with you? He was like, yeah, come work with me. And so then he tells V to kill Eve. Now, we all know that ain't gonna happen. And so she was like, oh, do you want me to kill Eve so you can watch? And he was like, yes. She was like, so you can watch. So, you knew what was coming. Valinelle stands up. She grabs the knife. Okay? Eve is like, Valinelle, no! And Valinelle cuts Aaron Peel. Throat. Dead. Blood. So she takes Aaron Peel, put him in front of the mirror and said, see? You can watch. And before Aaron Peel dies, he had a little, you know, smirk on his face. So Eve was like, why did you do that? We didn't supposed to kill him. And she was like, oh, you know, I did what I did. Let's go. Let's go. She was like, oh my God. She was like, she said, I thought you was in danger. She said, Hugo done got shot. I left him bleeding. And so they had back and forth. And so Eve goes back to the hotel to check on Hugo. When she gets to the hotel, dead silence, no one around. She runs upstairs, no Hugo, no blood, no nothing. She goes into the room. Everything's gone. Cameras, the computer, the system, everything's gone. Everything's been cleaned up. And so she was like, no, you know, because she thought that, you know, the 12 had came and got Hugo and took everything. So she here's a knock on the door. It is the HBIC herself, Ms. Caroline. So Eve was like, what are you doing here? And so Caroline was like, well, technically I don't supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be at home, you know, just chilling. But, you know, that's between me and you. So Caroline was like, all right, talk to me. What happened with Aaron Peel? And so Eve tells the story. And so Carolyn was like, that's not how it's supposed to have worked out. And she was like, we didn't supposed to kill, you know, Aaron Peel. And so HBIC was like, well, he's dead now, so let's go. And so Eve put two and two together and said, oh, you wanted her to kill Aaron Peel. Because Aaron Peel was making these weapons and, you know, it could destroy the world, all this. And so the HBIC had a look on her face. And so Eve said, this is a setup. You played me this whole time. Yes, Eve, the HBIC Carolyn played you this whole time. She was always one step ahead of Eve. Now, y'all remember, Kenny told Eve, don't go to Rome. Okay, he tried to give her a little warning, but Eve's head was just everywhere. HBIC, Constantine, the MI6 had this plan the whole time. Okay, they knew that Valinelle would end up killing Aaron Peel. So, their hands are clean. Okay, Valinelle, the assassin, she's the one that killed Aaron Peel. They have nothing to do with it. So, she was like, come on, Eve, let's go. So Eve was like, I'm not going anywhere with you. And so Carolyn was like, you do know she would not do the same thing for you, right? And she was like, you made your choice, Eve. Good luck. So as Carolyn was leaving, Eve stands up and says, I am going to tell Kenny all about you, what you are. And so Carolyn looked at her and said, girl, he knows. Who do you think was here cleaning this up? He was part of the cleanup crew. So Eve was like, duh, duh. And of course, MI6 was the one that got Hugo and, you know, cleaned up everything. And so Carolyn leaves. So Eve is just standing there like, oh my God. I mean, Eve, how many times you going to get played? You done got played by V. You done got played by the HBIC. Come on, girl. Get your head out the clouds. So, sorry sorry, y'all. These lights are hot. Sweating. So, we have Valentine meeting up with Constantine. And so Constantine said, I want you to get in that car. There's money and gun in that car. And you get up out of here. Okay? And so she was like, I'm not going anywhere without Eve. And he was like, what is going on with you two? What is it about this woman that got your head going? Okay? Don't you understand what is happening here? They are going to kill you. All right? Get in the car and go away. So, of course, Valentine, she was like, I ain't going nowhere. All right? So then she figures out that Constantine was a part of this plan for her to kill Aaron Peel and the cutthroat and the backstabbing, and all that. And she was like, why'd you do it? Because of your family? And he was like, yes. He said, family is everything. He says, I'm doing this because of, my family. So V was like, I thought we were family. And he was like, not my family. So Constantine, even though he has a special relationship with V, like a father figure, he actually has a real family that he loves, cares about, he has to protect. And as we know, MI6, they know where his family is. So they was in the middle of discussion, and did y'all catch when she says, I have no family? And then Constantine was like, not all your family, or something like that. So we know that Valentine has some family, out there. So I think that's going to come up next season. So he walks off, and so Valentine looks at him and says, I am going to find you and your family. He was like, no, you're not. And off he goes. So back at the hotel, we have Eve still in the room. Valentine goes inside the hotel, and who's there? One of the 12. Big burly guy with an axe. I said, oh, here we go. Here we go. We're about to get a fight. So they started fighting, and I tell you, V, she tried, but there is no way she could go toe-to-toe with this big dude. So he gets the best of her. He's choking her. I mean, she's just limp, and he's choking her. So then you hear her say, do it. Do it. Do it. So he's like, what? So here's Eve with the axe, and she was like, let her go. Stop it, let her go. I was like, Eve, girl, this is not the time for you to be bargaining with an assassin. You're just gonna have to do it. So he turns around and he was like, what? He was like, she ain't gonna do nothing. And of course, V, she drops. And she was like, stop it. She was like, I'll do it. Stop it. And so here's, Valentine, pushing her to do it, talking about, you're gonna have to kill him. Okay, you're going to have to do it. Do it. And so Eve puts the axe in his shoulder blade. And so he's like, ugh. And so here is Eve. Oh my God. Ah! That would be me. I would be freaking out. And so she's like, oh my God. Oh my God. What do I do? So he drops. And so V was like, take the axe out. You're going to have to take the axe out. And so here is Eve trying to get that axe out his shoulder blade. Finally does. And so Valentine is like, you're going to have to kill him. And so Valentine takes a hold to his legs. He drops. And she was like, do it, Eve. Do it. He's going to come after us. There's no other way. There's no other way around this. And so Eve puts the axe through his head. And she just busted his head wide open. Chunks went a-flying. Of course, this was Eve's, first kill. Even though it was an assassin, and he was trying to kill V, she still killed a man. So, of course, this delighted Valentine. She was happy. Okay? Again, Eve didn't see this manipulation, but we move on. Now let's get to the last scene. Valinelle and Eve, of course, they run. And she's like telling Eve, she was like, you know, you actually killed someone with an axe. And that just tickled her to death. So, long story short, they are in this beautiful area. I mean, didn't it look beautiful? I mean, it looked like a place where, of course, gladiators, you know, would fight. And it fit what happened in this scene, okay? We have Valinelle, who is still under the impression that Eve is going to drop everything, get on this killing spree with her, and they are going to live happily ever after. And V, I was with you. The way Eve has been acting up to this point, and when she found out that Carolyn and the MI6 was behind all this, well, I guess I should say just Carolyn, how it was a setup, how they manipulated her. You know, in my mind, I thought, oh my God, okay, so we have Eve being betrayed, we have Valinelle being betrayed by Constantine. They're going to, you know, hook up like a sick Bonnie and Clyde and take out MI6 and Constantine. I thought that because I was like, what do they have to, you know, lose? And here Eve is, you know, just acting all spastic and weird, and she's done, you know, put an axe through somebody's head. So I was thinking that. And of course Valinelle was thinking that too. So Eve was like, do you really think that's going to happen? Do you really think that we're going to live this happy life, go on this killing spree? And so she was like, you know, Valinelle was like, yes, okay, it's me and you, all right? You know you enjoy being with me. We are two. We are together. So Valinelle, she shows a gun. And so Eve looks, Eve says, you had that gun the whole time? You could have just killed the axe guy, but you didn't. You knew I would come and save you. And so Valinelle was like, yes, yes I did. And of course, here again, Valinelle manipulated Eve. I mean, everyone is one step ahead of Eve, except Eve. So Valinelle was like, I needed you to do that. I wanted that part of you to come out. So Eve is upset. Eve said, that is it. I am going home. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. Okay, this is over. I'm leaving. This, of course, Valinelle was like, no, you're not. You're not going anywhere. And Eve was like, watch me. So Eve is walking. Eve is leaving. Valinelle picks up the gun and shoots Eve. Now, I did not see that coming. Oh my God. We see Eve laying there, and of course Eve is not dead, okay? She's not dead. It's called killing Eve. But the thought that Valinelle shot Eve, and I think that in my mind, I don't think Valinelle is shooting Eve to kill her. I think she is sending a message to Eve. So she walks off. Eve is laying there in just limp. So that is how the season finale ended. It is a fantastic show. I absolutely love Killing Eve. For the ones that watch me, for the ones that rock with me, I appreciate you. I know this don't get a whole lot of views, and that's fine, you know, but I just enjoy this series. Okay, guys, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next year, guys, bye.